It all started in Montgomery, Alabama, 1955. An incident where you think today wouldn't evolve around nothing of just being asked to give up your seat on a bus. Well, the laws that day, back in 1955, stated such. I bring to you civil rights. Welcome to my channel, History Through My Eyes. In American history, the 1960s is one of the most pivotal decades standing. You had the civil rights movement starting in 1955 from a bus incident. And then it went from there to the sanitation workers in Tennessee. Before that, you had the march on Washington, D.C. The greatest march at that time for civil rights on American soil. You have the Bay of Pigs and the Cuban Missile Crisis. You had the Vietnam War. You have the Southern Christian Leadership Conference being formed in 1957 for civil rights. President of that was Martin Luther King Jr. You had the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. You had the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King. You also had the assassination of Robert Kennedy, Attorney General at the time. You had the man walk on the moon to close out the decade in 1969. Here we are in the 12th year of the new millennium. Next year will be 1 year removed, the 50th anniversary of I Have a Dream, and it still isn't accomplished equality. What does it take to achieve such a feat? Why do we go one step backwards with some type of legislation or something of that form taken back from what was already gained? Since slavery had been abolished in the 1860s, from the march in 1963, almost 100 years to that time, this equality had to be earned through bloodshed, protests, and demonstrations. I bring to you my collection. This is the 60s right here, from my Philadelphia perspective. You have the Philadelphia Inquirer, you have the Evening Bulletin, and you have the Philadelphia Daily News. This shows after the assassination of Martin Luther King in 1968. It was on April 4th on a balcony where his life was taken. This is what happened in the 60s. Also, my most coveted is this right here, which was carried by the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, all the members, including Dr. Martin Luther King. I can't speak about the 50s and 40s, which I was told was even worse than the 60s. I can only tell you what I lived through, what I researched, and what I saw through my eyes. In the Constitution, you have due process. Every citizen is entitled to this. Read about it, educate yourself. No matter what happened to you in your life as a citizen, you are entitled to this. It's your right. Stand up for what is right and what is written. And I hope in my lifetime that true equality will be achieved. The premonition that Martin Luther King had and saw while he was alive, America hasn't accomplished it. For as he spoke in his speech in 1963, to be judged by the content of your character, not the color of your skin. I went to the inauguration in January 2009 for President Barack Obama. At the end of the inauguration, a licensed vendor was selling souvenirs. I brought my wife, my father, and myself these $30 hoodies from a licensed vendor. Once again, when you judge a human being, it's the content of their character, not the color of their skin. I'd like to thank you for allowing me to share my collection with you. And I hope that this educates some to what transpired in the 60s as well as in the 50s and 40s in America, while we take things for granted and for just being the way that we know. But this is the way it was back then, until the death of Dr. Martin Luther King, who tried to accomplish equality. So simple as everybody just being treated as equal. I'll be releasing content every other month. Subscribe. You'll get it automatically. I have plenty of content. It's going to take me a while, but I'll bring you the truth about every subject I speak on through my eyes. And don't forget, November 6, 2012, vote is very important. That was also part of the civil rights in the 60s. We didn't have it before then, so let's use it. No matter who you vote for, you can vote for yourself, but just vote. It's your right. Thank you.
Justice rolls down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream.